وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام: لن تزول قدما عبد يوم القيامة حتى يسأل عن 4 خصال: عن أمره فيما أفنى، وعن شبابه فيما أبلى، وعن ماله من أين اكتسبه وفيما أنفقه، وعن علمه ماذا عمل فيه. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام: اغتنم 5 قبل 5: شبابك قبل هرمك، وصحتك قبل سقمك، وغناك قبل فقرك، وفراغك قبل شغلك، وحياتك قبل موتك، أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. My respected brothers, elders, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Musab Bin Umair was one of the richest youths of Mecca, probably as old as you and I. Ibn Sa'd narrates: كانت أمه مليئة كثيرة المال تكسو أحسن ما يكون من الثياب، وكان أعطر أهل مكة يلبس الحضرم من النعال. Before embracing Islam, Musab lived a life of luxury and comfort. He wore the latest gear of that time, just like the youth do today. He wore the latest garments. He wore the latest shoes. He applied the latest scent, to the extent that our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said: كما رأيت بمكة أحدا أحسن لمة ولا أرق حلة ولا أنعم نعمة من مصعب بن عمير. That I have never seen any youth in Mecca more well dressed and in more luxury and comfort than this Musab bin Umair. But knowing that success does not lie in wearing the latest gear, success does not lie in wearing the latest garments, the latest shoes, the latest trainers. Knowing إن الدين عند الله الإسلام ومن يبتغي غير الإسلام دينا فلن يقبل منه. That Islam is the key to success in both worlds, this world and the next. Knowing that Islam is the key to eternal luxury and comfort, this very same youth embraces Islam. Learning that this youth is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and one who spends his youth serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and serving his deen, he will receive a reward equal to none other. This very same youth sacrifices each and everything he possesses for Islam, to the extent that when this youth returns from Habasha, returns from Ethiopia, this very same youth who at one time would not wear a dress, a garment less than 200 dirhams, when this youth returns from Habasha, Ethiopia, he has only one old sheet of cloth to cover his body. This sheet of cloth in turn is torn in many places. When our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam sees this youth, tears begin to flow from our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam's eyes, as our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam remembers the days of Musab's luxury, remembers the days of Musab's comfort. And today, because this child has sacrificed everything for Islam, today when he is returning and he is standing in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this child has one old sheet of cloth, and this cloth is torn in many places. A step further, remember this child is probably as old as you and I. In the bottom of her head, this child holds the flag of Islam. The Muslims on meeting defeat are dispersing in confusion, but this Muslim youth stands at his post like a rock. He holds the flag of Islam high. The kuffar, on seeing that this is a golden opportunity to put an end to Islam, they attack this child, they attack this Muslim youth, they attack Musab bin Umair. His hand is cut, this child is bleeding, this child is injured, this child is hurt, but he has the flag of Islam in his hand. He takes the flag of Islam and he holds it in the other hand. The kuffar, on seeing that this child has now held the flag in his other hand, they attack him yet again, they cut off his other hand. He has lost both of his hands, he is injured, he is bleeding, he is hurt, but he cannot let this flag fall, as this is the flag of Islam. If this flag falls, it means Islam has fallen. If this flag falls, it means that the Muslims have been defeated. With the help of his bleeding arm, this child holds the flag with his bottom. An arrow is directed towards him. Another Muslim, on seeing that this Musab Bin Umair is injured, takes the flag of Islam from him. The arrow hits this child, and this child is no more. He has died as a martyr in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when he is buried, there is only one piece of cloth, and this cloth is so short that it isn't sufficient for his body. If this cloth is drawn and the head is covered, the feet become exposed. And if it is drawn to cover the feet, the head becomes uncovered. This was a Muslim youth, as well as you and I. He died defending Islam. He died defending Islam. He died as a martyr on the battlefield. He sacrificed everything for Islam. Brought up in luxury and comfort. There was a time when he would not wear a dress less than 200 dirhams. And now when he is dying, now when he is buried, there is not sufficient kafan to cover his body. Listen very carefully to these examples. And every time an example has been given, ask yourself, where do you stand in comparison to the Muslim youth mentioned? In comparison to the example given? Ask yourself, where do you stand? Our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's camels grazed at a place called Ghaba, 4 or 5 miles away from Medina al-Munawwara. Early part of one night, Abdurrahman Fazari, with the help of some bandits, came and killed Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's shepherd, and took Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's camels. All the bandits were armed, and all the bandits were on horseback. Salma, the son of Aqwa, was on foot when he noticed the bandits. He was a child of 12. A child of 12. But he could run very fast. It is said that Salma could beat the fastest horse in a race. No sooner did this child see the bandits that he climbed on a hill, and facing Medina al-Munawwara, he shouted, Ya Sabaha, Ya Sabaha. He raised the alarm. After raising this alarm, this child himself begins to chase the bandits. Himself, he begins to chase the bandits. He is on foot. The bandits are on horseback. He catches the bandits and he begins to shoot arrows one after the other, saying, Ana ibn al-Aqwa, al-yawma